Hey, everybody, welcome to Sixth Scale Symposium Episode 2. And today I have a very special guest. But before we get him introduced to you guys, let's roll that intro. Yes, it is Sixth Scale Symposium Episode 2. It was successful enough that I decided to get on here and do it again. And this time I have a friend with me. This is Travis. Welcome, Travis, to the show.
What's going on?
Hey, man, how's it going? Travis is a big nerd, like all of you out there, big superhero geek. And yeah, I like to talk about this stuff with you. So I thought it'd be great to have you on the show. And you yourself do some like superhero artwork, or is that right?
Yes, I like to paint a few pictures here or there with a Batman symbol on it or Spider-Man. Been working on Punisher ones. I got a cool Punisher one out there.
I've seen some of those. I see them pretty much every day. Every day you're doing something.
I know, right? You got to get them out while you're feeling it.
You got to make sure you have good ventilation though, because
That's right.
I've heard from a little birdie that you're just kind of doing it in the basement and you know,
I
put a
get all the
respirator
windows
on.
open. I have a respirator now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
No more paint getting on my nose.
All right, let's there we go. Just put that on there for us and make sure that we're all ready to go here. If anybody is in the house tonight, let us know. Say hi. Let us know where you're at. And we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. We got a fun show tonight. So, Travis is a very good friend of mine we've been friends for quite a while, and we talk about this stuff a lot. He has yet to dabble into the Hot Toys figure community, but I'm thinking maybe if he comes on the show enough that we're going to get him to maybe pull the trigger on a figure or two. And, he's going to just kind of talk about some of this stuff with me tonight. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk Book of Boba Fett, which we've both been watching, and I think we're both pretty stoked for. And then we're also just going to be talking about like new movies coming out in 2022, what figures we might get from those movies, and kind of what movies we're looking forward to most. And yeah, just hanging out with you guys for a little bit tonight. I know Man of Hot Collectibles usually does a show Tuesday nights at 7:30 Central Time. So he's probably not finished up yet. So I'm sure it might be a little slow out the gate. But we do have Daniel in the house, one of the Jedi Night's Watch hardcore fans out there. He's coming in from Knoxville. Beautiful place from what I've heard. I've driven through Tennessee, but I don't think I've ever really vacationed there. But I've heard it's beautiful. Travis, how about you?
I've just driven through.
Yeah.
But it looks nice when I drive through.
It does. You got the mountains and the nice weather and Knoxville. So, all right. So, we are going to start today with some news and notes in the Sixth Scale community. And the first one, if I can move to my right screen here, is going to be not that. All right. Let me open up one more tab here for you, Travis.
Oh, look at that. That looks so nice.
We just had an Iron Man figure hit waitlist, and it's an interesting one. It is. He's probably not going to be up front now because he's waitlisted, so he's going to be towards the back. So we got to get.
Sweet.
Yeah, we got to get through the pre-orders. I always forget. I think it's the Mark 47, so I probably could have searched that and made this go a lot quicker. But let's see here. Okay, let's try this here. And there he is right there. That was pretty easy. All right. So this guy, if anybody doesn't know out in the community, this guy was released a while back, and his price is like, he was really sought after. I'm not sure exactly what the lore about it was, but he was going for $1,000, upwards of maybe even like 1,500, I heard. And Hot
Crazy.
Toys was probably like, wow, well, we can make some more money off of this. So why don't we just reissue him? So he came out, I think, last year. Now he's finally hit waitlist again. So I'm curious if this, obviously the price will go up, but how high will this price go up? Could we see it maybe reach $700-800 mark? I'm not sure. Only time will tell. But Travis, that leads me to the question: do you have a favorite Iron Man suit?
Oh, it's such a good question. This one actually did not get a lot of screen time, but it was really
No.
cool. I don't even know if he was in this one.
Yeah, you and I were talking about, like, did Tony Stark ever? Because we have the head sculpt, but wasn't this the empty
Yeah.
Iron Man that we saw? Because this is from Homecoming, which I haven't seen for a hot minute, so I can't really even remember. But what do you think of this suit, though?
I think it's sweet. I definitely like how the color scheme is on it. That chest piece right there is just, I like how it's got that little offset to it,
Yeah,
not completely circular.
it's
Got the
sleek,
gold right in there. It's just, yeah, pops.
and I think it's different because you got a lot more silver than we're used to having. Usually, obviously red and the gold are the dominant colors. So for a while I thought about picking this one up, but I'm not the I'm not the Iron Man collector. I'm not the guy that just gets a ton of Iron Man figures. Like, to me, one's good enough, and now I have two, so that's more than enough. I may even sell one, in the future, just because I like Iron Man, but you have
This is
those.
kind of rare looking. I like the gold on the shoulders there.
Right.
It slides in there so nice. You should pick this one up too.
I can't now unless I go pay it on eBay. So you should have told me this like a week ago.
Well, I
I
wasn't
could.
thinking about it a week ago.
So for anybody that doesn't know what the wait list is basically once it sells out, you can join a wait list, and it's a small number of people that can join the wait list. And basically, what you can do is if somebody were to have this on layaway payment plans or whatnot, and they decided to cancel because maybe they can't afford it at the time. There's so many pre-orders coming out now that maybe they're like, oh, something's got to get canceled. Then you might have the opportunity to pick this up. You would get an email from Sideshow, and they'd be like, hey, this is in stock. You have 48 hours to decide if you want it. So I have about I've had about 6 figures on waitlist, and in my 2 years of collecting, I've had one waitlist actually like come to fruition, and it was the Aquaman from the Solo movie, and then I decided I didn't want it, so I didn't even get it. But it's slim if you're gonna really hit on the waitlist. It's not a good chance, so you do want to try and get this before it sells out. So anyways, that was the Iron Man. Unless Travis, you got anything else to just kind of add to that?
I mean, I think this thing looks slick. I definitely I'm a fan of this one. I would definitely, if I do dive into collecting these, I would be an Iron Man / Spider-Man collector.
And I know the price can scare people, and it is, it can be an expensive hobby, but you're also going to pay more with the Iron Man figures because they're die cast. So you could save money and maybe start smaller if you wanted to. But another one that just hit waitlist, I think within 24 hours actually, is the Spider-Man upgraded suit, and it's really no surprise. I mean, we got all the hype from No Way Home,
Yeah.
so it was just a matter of time. This guy was sitting on the shelf since I want to say last April or May. Um, and it's a pretty affordable price, especially with all the inflation going on with Hot Toys. That the prices continue to go up. So for 250, this is still a pretty good price. They have made new Spider-Man figures that are coming out probably next year, but this one still seemed to be the best bang for your buck. It didn't come with a ton of didn't come with like the diorama base or anything like that, but I do like the suit. Kind of like how the black and the red go together. These aren't the most posable just because of the material, but for me, I don't get Hot Toys to pose them. I get them for the realness factor, so I don't really care about that. But if you guys missed out on this one, he is unfortunately gone.
No. Well, I'm looking at all these poses here. I'm just like, oh, I want it.
It's great for photography, but then I wouldn't leave them in this pose for long periods of time just because you're gonna get wrinkles and creases and stretch marks. And
Yeah,
some people don't care about that, and that's perfectly fine.
I'm paying $300 for a toy. I want it to not have wrinkles.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I get it, and I just kind of want it to be preserved. So, like, I want to have this thing as long as possible. So it just depends on kind of what your preferences are. But it comes with a bunch of swap out eyes.
I was
So
gonna say,
here's all the stuff that he comes with. Comes with the nice Tom Holland head sculpt, so you can kind of switch that out. But unfortunately, guys, this one hit waitlist. So if you waited, you probably waited too long. Daniel says he looks good with the other Avengers. He does. I'm glad I got this one. I actually got this from Rob. He bought this. He pre-ordered it, and then he decided he just needed the money. So I got it for a pretty good deal from Rob. So I've kept it in the collection. I'm pretty happy with it.
right on.
All right.
That
So
was
the next thing that we had was just got to switch to my other share screen. So Travis, you saw Spider-Man No Way Home, is that correct?
Oh yeah, I had to
And
go see it.
without spoilers or too many spoilers, what did you think?
It was definitely a good movie, good nostalgia factor to it. It keeps you intrigued. I wouldn't say it's the most amazing movie out there, but it's solid.
What would you give it out of a 10? Because I know there's a lot of fanboys saying like 10 out of 10, best MCU movie.
8.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's solid. You
Best
know,
Spider-Man movie I've heard.
I mean it's a good spot. You know how in Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, how there was just too many villains and nobody got enough screen time.
Yep.
Same problem in this one, where everyone just gets a touch butt. They do a great job of hitting the highlights of each character. So you get everybody popping in, they get their little classic moments, and I mean even Tobey Maguire and both Spider-Man got their own little part of the movie where then they might spin off more movies off of it now that they can bring them back to life with the multiple universes.
Right.
So it's definitely go see it. It's great to watch on the big screen. If you're a Spider-Man nut, it might be a 10 out of 10. I'd give it 8.
Okay. I think that's pretty fair. And you kind of mentioned the villains, and Hot Toys also kind of mentioned the villains on their Instagram, and
Ooh.
they said the wall crawler's greatest enemies are approaching soon.
Oh,
So
really?
I think we know what that means. I think we're going to be getting announcements pretty quick of the Spider-Man No Way Home villains. So,
Green Goblin.
Travis. Okay, well, you just answered. I was just going to say, which villain would you want the most, or would you like to see the most out of these? Green Goblin?
Yes.
I think me too. I think it would be Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and then Electro. No, I wasn't the and because of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, I wasn't the biggest Electro fan. I
They
just
fix Electro. They do. Like if you just forget the other movie didn't happen, Electro is pretty awesome.
that's one way to do it, I guess.
Electro and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man had a good moment where Electro's like, "Yo, when they gonna get other Spider-Men of other ethnicities out here?"
Well, and yeah, I mean, if so Spider-Man and Iron Man are really Hot Toys like biggest cash cows. So I mean, of course they're gonna make these villains. They have to. And for some reason, Hot Toys like shies away from villains a little bit. But like, I don't know about you, but I love villains like Joker, Darth Vader. Like,
Oh yeah,
come on, give me more. Like, that's fine. Like, let's do villains too. Come on.
let's see him.
So so yeah, we'll be getting those. I don't know how quickly or if they'll do like them all close together, but good news for you Spider-Man fans out there that they're gonna be coming. So
Oh, they're coming.
they're
They're
coming,
gonna
man.
make more movies. Wait till Venom comes along. Oof.
Oh yeah, I mean they're just gonna keep going with this, so hopefully they can still make really good movies and not just like grab that cash. But I think they'll be okay.
Yeah, let's hope.
So now, Travis, you're kind of you've been a businessman in the past.
Yeah.
But Daniel says Darth Vader's a villain. He's the chosen one.
He's the chosen villain.
They really did. Just a sidebar. They really did do a good job. You know, you might not like the prequels as much as the OG trilogy, but I think they did a good job, like really wrapping the story around Anakin Skywalker. Like, I think when you first watch the OG, you think it's about Luke Skywalker, but then when you put it all together, it's mostly like Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. Would you agree?
Oh yeah. You know, you got to go back and watch the prequels just to kind of like when the prequels first came out. You know, you kind of dismissed them because it wasn't like, oh my God, original Star Wars. But then they've kept building this universe and they've made those prequels so relevant to everything that goes on to where we even have different shows coming out where you're watching what happened during that time period or in the in-between time period, you know, where they got that 30 years of space in there. And I love it.
And we're gonna get into that really deep for the Book of Boba Fett. So I don't want to go too far, but the fan service they're giving us has been amazing. So, and we'll touch on that, but I think they're, like you said, I think they're doing some really good stuff with Star Wars, and it was some scary times after those sequel trilogies. So
Oh, yeah.
it's good to see that we got some people in there like John Favreau that kind of know what they're doing. But
You know, has Jar Jar Binks come back at all? Or did they kill that character off?
and Rob likes him. He's like, loved him from the Phantom Menace, and I'm like, Jar Jar, no.
No.
Collector Chris says, any info on after the Luke later this year? Will they be releasing any more 40th anniversary? So I think the ship is passed for Empire Strikes Back, but Return of the Jedi 40th year is going to be. Is it this year or is it next year? I don't recall, but it's coming up pretty quick. So I'm assuming, I would hope we would get a Darth Vader 40th anniversary, kind of like we have in quarter scale, but 1/6 scale, where maybe they include that head sculpt. You know, they've done a lot of
1983.
So 2023. Okay. Well, so then they could maybe release them this year, but then they wouldn't, or they would announce them this year and then they'd release next year. So that's a possibility. Luke, you know, we're still waiting on obviously the Snow Speeder Luke, which is coming out sometime this year. We're waiting for Bespin Luke to come out, reissue. We'll talk about that later. But I don't know what other Luke they could maybe do, just because they've kind of done all of them.
They can do them all again.
You know, but that's the thing. As technology gets better, the head sculpts get better, the material gets better. So it's like, yeah, we'll see.
Let's do some Force Awakens Luke, just lifting everything up.
Daniel says he loved the prequels except for Jar Jar. You know,
That's right.
I think the only prequel that I really didn't like was the second one. I can't remember the name. It's
The clones.
Attack of the Clones, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not care for that one.
Just a giant love story in that one.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing we got was that Anakin hates the sand. No, but I mean Phantom Menace is kind of cheesy, and you know there's parts, but overall it's a good story. Darth Maul comes out of that. Like, look how much Darth Maul has grown. Obi-Wan,
Yes.
you know, just I mean there's a lot of good to come from that. I actually really enjoyed Revenge of the Sith as well. I thought it was all action packed. We got to see the turn. So
Yes.
I don't mind the prequels.
They're solid movies, you know. I like them too.
I mean, it's tough to follow up the OG trilogy, and you know, I think everybody has in their mind kind of what they're expecting, and it was probably just different. But
I mean,
thought
I
they did
think if
good.
you went back and watched all three right now and just kind of like merged it all together, and it would make more sense now,
Right.
you'd probably find a different appreciation for it if you're someone that's not a huge fan of those three movies, but have seen this world grow off of those movies and off of everything else that's been done. It's kind of essential to watch it.
I think the only thing I didn't like that the prequels did for the original trilogy was the lightsaber fights.
Just yeah, it's
And
fun.
how we just see like Vader and Obi-Wan just kind of going at it and just like, wow, this is terrible.
Yeah,
I think I've shared with you the remake somebody did on YouTube with that. Have you seen that where they do like the deep fake of Obi-Wan and they recreated that fight and it's really badass?
yeah. I think I've seen. I will have to go back and watch it again. I've seen so much Star Wars stuff.
I wish they would just kind of put that into the movie and replace it, but I get it. You can't touch it. So okay. So I wasn't sure if I really wanted to talk about this or not because I like to stay kind of just neutral, but I've seen it a couple times now. And so I'm just going to put this up here. Travis, I don't know if you can read that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Toys Wonderland is a Hong Kong company that sells sixth scale figures, but they're not licensed like Sideshow is for the USA. So basically, what they do is they buy these figures, I believe, directly from Hot Toys, and then they kind of turn around and sell them for a profit. So a lot of people like them. I tried to buy from them a couple times, but every time I did, like, oh, I'm like, oh, the figure's cheaper. Yes, I can do that. But then shipping was like well over $100. So I'm like, well, this doesn't make any sense for me. So I never purchased for them. But I've seen Kiko Collects is another YouTuber out there on his Instagram. I think they wrote him, and I saw somebody else post this on Reddit, and it. So tell me if this sounds kind of just fishy to you. I'm writing you on behalf of Toys Wonderland to ask for a collaboration. Details are as follows. We hope that through our collaboration, you could make a post on your social media about the shipping of different companies. All the details and evidence will be provided by us. The information would be on comparisons between different shipping prices and time for toy retailing companies. The content of the post, i.e., the photos needed, will be provided by us. You are only required to make the post on your social media, which we will offer a free Hot Toys figure under 300 USD. Should you have any inquiries, please do not hesitate to contact us.
You should contact them back and say, I want one of them limited edition Hot Toys.
Does this not seem like it seems fishy? It seems dishonest. Like, hey, we'll give you all the info and everything. All we need you to do is post it.
They just want
promote
the plug.
us. Right. So there I don't know. If you guys watch, there's been a lot of things said about Sideshow because Sideshow tried to shut these guys down because it was hurting their business, and Sideshow's obviously, you know, they're the Hot Toys retailer, so they're trying to eliminate companies like this. And however you feel is fine, but I don't know. To me, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and kind of like Collector Chris says, shipping is brutal, and that's where they get you too, because what happens is you'll pre-order a figure from Toys Wonderland, and then all of a sudden you're doing your payments and whatnot, and then at the end they just hit you over the head with the shipping costs, and you're like not expecting it, and it's like over $100. So stuff like that. I don't know. Sideshow, you also have the reward points, so I know Sideshow is definitely not the perfect company either, but something about this just makes me kind of cringe about Toys Wonderland. So if you guys have any feedback on it or any experience with Toys Wonderland, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. So yeah, I don't know, just kind of rubs me the wrong way a little bit, but to each their own. It's nice that they offer you a free Hot Toy figure, though.
For under $300, that's like
what can I get for that? A Stormtrooper?
Well, depending on what Stormtrooper. Heck yeah.
Okay. All right. So that was just kind of the news and notes of what's going on in the community right now. So now we're just going to kind of talk about a couple new releases, and then we're going to get into Book of Boba. And we're going to start with me switching off to this next screen here again. All right. Let's go to Facebook. So, Travis.
Stormtrooper, I would take that.
Speaking of stormtroopers, the what is this? It's from the Mandalorian, and it is the artillery stormtrooper. I believe this was from season 2, where Boba Fett got his armor back, and Baby Yoda was on the stone trying to reach out to any Jedi that could hear him. So,
Yep, the last episode. Second last episode.
what do you think about this? Are you more of like a traditional stormtrooper fan, or are you a fan of stormtroopers?
I always loved the Stormtrooper, but when they started making different, sections of Stormtroopers, heck yeah. I love the fire one. This one's definitely sharp. Going to some of those other Star Wars movies that we were talking about, they came up with so many good creative just Stormtroopers. I could get them all.
Right. And a lot of collectors just like some collectors just collect Iron Man figures. Some collect stormtroopers, and they want every variant of a stormtrooper. I have the Return of the Jedi stormtroopers, and then I have the Shore Trooper from Rogue One Mandalorian. I think that's and the Scout Trooper. Yeah, Scout Trooper is my favorite style of stormtrooper. Cool. I would like a Death Trooper from Rogue One, those black ones, but I just haven't been able to pull the trigger on that one yet. This guy looks pretty cool. He's different. He's got some shelf presence with the yellow. I think what I like the most is the rocket launcher, but then the backpack. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Daniel says it's the mustard stormtrooper.
Yeah.
Going back to Toys Wonderland for a second, Chris says, even not paying sales tax, you still pay more than Sideshow. And that's why I could never pull the trigger with Toys Wonderland. I tried multiple times, so it's not that I'm not willing to give it a try. I just it doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense for me to do it, I'm not going to do it, But so this isn't what I'm going to get just because I'm not a big Stormtrooper collector. But he does look cool. I like this photo a lot. They did a good job with the imaging here.
Could be one of your free ones for posting that.
I'm not posting that. I didn't even get invited. I'm not big enough. And he's got the yellow cauldron, so he's got to be what, is it a captain?
Yeah. Someone knows what his official rank is.
I think I'd kind of like to see a little bit more weathering on this.
He's a fresh captain.
I just remember season 2 during this episode.
That's so cool.
He's got looks like grenades on there, and then I'm not even sure what these are, but I know they go on the back of his belt. We got prime time reviews in the house. What's up? Thanks for joining. We're just looking at some new releases here for a couple minutes. And then we're going to talk more Star Wars because Star Wars is hot right now. All right. So that was one release. That was not the biggest release. The biggest release, that was kind of last week. So I'm a little bit late to it because I haven't done a live video since then. But
oh, yes, please.
Book of Boba Fett. Actually, this is technically for Mandalorian season 2, but the 2-pack of Boba Fett here. And if you guys haven't seen episode 2 of Book of Boba Fett yet, I will just say there might be some spoilers tonight. We're gonna dive into the Book of Boba Fett and just kind of talk about our thoughts, what we like, maybe if there's anything we don't like. But so Travis, they released this 2-pack. with the robes. Now that we know they're Tuscan Raider robes,
Yes.
and
Look at
the
that detail.
everybody calls it the bird poop armor because from
No, it is
afar it
not
looks like
bird poop. That is sacred armor.
it looks cool, and I am tempted to get this style of Boba Fett. I still don't know if I want the 2-pack because again, I'm a collector on a budget, so I have to be picky. I can't just I love this, but I can't get everything because I'll go broke, and then I'll be divorced and living with Travis. So,
With action figures.
yeah, well, I was looking at action figures. But man, this head sculpt, I gotta say, 10 out of 10.
Yes.
And I've seen this on reviews, so I know for a fact this is the real deal. They did a great job. I always forget the actor's name. I can
Let me go
hear
that up.
I can hear it in my head. I just always get it tongue twisted. Daniel says Boba Fett and Uncle Fester. Can't wait to get that set. The only thing that I've heard as a knock on this figure is that the neck seems to be too short just because this hood or this kind of collar, it just seems to kind of ride up a little bit. So not a deal breaker by any means, but
Tamaria Morrison.
Tamaria Morrison.
Yeah, that's okay.
Let's see if look at this. They added this cool effect that you can plug in for the rocket that makes it look like he's launching it.
I want to know where he gets those rockets from.
Where does he store those?
Where does he store those?
That's a good question.
That is cool with the launching right there. How does the back of his helmet not get scorch marked?
Yeah, no kidding, right? The nice thing they did about this Boba Fett too is this rocket pack is now magnetic, where on mine, oh gosh. Oh, here, let me see if I can. He clips on and it's real finicky. And it's kind of a pain. But yeah, this is my Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett. And he's pretty cool too.
That is cool.
So I don't know where I had him. I'll put him right here. Hopefully I don't knock him down. I'll put him right here.
Don't knock him into the Sarlacc.
So yeah. That's the thing though. Like I love this, but I got one Boba Fett. And I kind of want Boba Fett on the throne. So my question to you, Travis, if you had to choose, you have this 2-pack, or you could do Boba Fett and throne. Oh, wait, let me put this up here. There you go.
Oh.
So you've seen episode 2.
Yes.
You got to choose one of these. You don't have the funds to do both. This one I think is a little bit cheaper, probably $100 cheaper. Look at that with Fennec.
Oh yeah.
It gets even better. Look at it. She's got the juice there. But that throne looks pretty beautiful, I gotta say.
That is really cool.
And the armor, it's after the repaint, so it is a little bit different, and that's how Hot Toys gets you. You know, they
I mean,
do
that's
it like
accurate to the episode.
Right. It is. Yep. So me personally, I lean towards this one in the throne, and I think there's a good chance I'm getting this one.
That is cool. Oh, is that one of the attachments?
Yep.
Oh yes.
My Mandalorian has that as well, and it's a pretty cool attachment. It looks pretty realistic.
Yeah, I'd definitely go with that one.
And there you have kind of a close up of.
There's so many different options.
Look at the detail in the helmet. Like it looks like it was old paint, and it like you paint over something that was spotty.
Yeah,
and you got all that texture.
It's been through so many battles. It's nice battle worn armor with paint on top of it.
And then you get the head sculpt with this one as well.
Oh yeah.
Daniel says that throne takes up too much space. One with the figure without the throne. But does it? I mean, I get it. I mean, I think it would still fit in like a DTOF, right? but it depends on, I guess, what kind of space you have available. Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
I just think the throne is. It's got the rancors on it. It's like it's gonna add so much to your collection. It's tough. It's. I don't think you can go wrong either way.
Line up some stormtroopers around that.
Well, and I wasn't
Hot
sure if I was
Toys
gonna
have a
get.
Jabba the Hut.
What's that?
Does Hot Toys got a Jabba?
Sideshow made one. Sideshow made their like a statue of Jabba on his little platform.
Okay.
So it's huge. Actually, Freak Toys in Sheboygan, they have
Okay.
one,
Ooh.
and it's massive. So, but going back, so he looks great, guys. You're not going to be able to go wrong. You know, he's got so much more meaning now that we've seen episode 2. You know, he's got his Tuscan Raider weapon that we see that he made. So, you know,
Mhm.
we see, you know, everybody's like, when we saw him in Mandalorian, we're like, why is he wearing black robes? Where did he get these weapons from? Where's his armor? I think now it just makes a lot more sense. And the figure, it was kind of like, if we just looked at it and didn't know the meaning, to me, it's kind of boring. But now that it has so much more meaning, I think it's going to sell pretty good.
That's cool right there.
I think this comes with the deluxe. This little add-on. And then you get the beaten up Stormtrooper helmet that you can actually put on a Stormtrooper. Let's see here. So, yeah, let me know in the comments below, guys, if you think you're going to be picking this one up. Look at the inside of the helmet. They even, like, most of
That
these
is so
were,
cool. Look at the
these used to be
detail.
just plain and they would peg on. But this one has all the detail and it still pegs on. So just props to Hot Toys for going all out.
That's impressive. I like that.
Got the knee rockets.
I want knee rockets. Yeah.
What does the guy got to do to get some knee rockets around here, huh?
Go get eaten by a sarlacc.
Man, I can't get over the head sculpt. Like even the paint applications, just how far they've come recently. Just it's crazy. It's like you have a miniature actor in your room or in your collectible room. It's crazy.
If I was him and I had a little me, I'd be talking to me all the time. I'd be like, "Oh, let's go do this."
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. So those were the new releases, but there's one more that I wanted to take a look at, Travis.
Let's do it.
And it's Dr. Evil.
Say it ain't so.
And so this I saw on Facebook today in at the group I'm in called Sixth Scale Custom. So somebody made this, and I believe it's Andy Maniloff. He's the one that posted it,
Okay.
and I just wanted to show this because I love Austin Powers, and B, this is pretty incredible. And I would like I've decided to kind of hone in on Star Wars, Marvel, and Batman, but like I would get this if this was like mass produced.
That is so cool.
Like it just makes you smile. You just see it and you're like, oh, I love this. So I just wanted to show the look at it comes with the quoting hands.
Oh, Vern.
May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
This is just it's iconic. So funny. So fun to have. So props to whoever made that. I just wanted to show that off because I just thought it was so cool. Fun stuff. Fun stuff.
That is cool.
All right. So, Book of Boba Fett, episode 2. Again, if you haven't seen it, we won't spoil everything, but
You need to go watch it. Go watch it.
Well, episode 3 comes out tomorrow, so yeah, you're getting behind.
Yeah. Catch that up.
All right. Thoughts, Travis? What are your thoughts so far?
So good. I like every minute of the show. I'm so upset that they take like 10 minutes at the end of the show to run credits because, you know, you're like, oh, I got 48 minutes. And you're like, no, it's only like 35.
They did that a lot with Mandalorian as well.
But it's so good. The way they just did the second episode and just to kind of watch him continue to, without giving anything away, build on his story and how they bounce back and forth between current time and then dreamland when he's in the pod. I like how the second episode was largely in the pod,
Yeah.
showing some of the backstory and just kind of how he's walking around like, you're going to respect me. I've earned my place here. You're not going to walk all over me. And he's like, all right, I'm going to pick a fight. And there's a fight coming. You're like, oh, I wonder how this is going to go down. You're taking a look at this guy right here, and they had a nice little stare off. And you're like, oh, it's coming.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And yeah, just the way they're detailing the show out, it brings so much more meaning. Like the first 2 minutes of the first episode just like rejuvenated how he ended his time in the Star Wars universe. And then you're like, oh my God, this is so much better. Now you're like, thank you, George Lucas, for doing that, because they fixed it.
Right. I think it's been great, and it's like we talked about earlier in the show. It's kind of revived Star Wars, The Mandalorian, and now Book of Boba Fett, and hopefully the other series continue to do that. But I think what I like the most too is they're doing world building. They're adding more lore to Star Wars, and like they're giving us so much fan service without hitting us over the head with it. It's like really good fan service. Like The Force Awakens, it seemed like the fan service was like, "Hey, look, we know you like Star Wars. Here's this and here's
Watching
that."
professional wrestling, they just
Yeah,
crack it down your throat.
right.
This is organic.
Yes, organic. This is natural. Like the simple things, like beginning of episode 1, you see Boba Fett getting out of the Sarlacc pit. Well, you see the Sarlacc pit, you see Jabba's burned down cruisers or whatever they were actually called, and then you also see like the tentacle that Han shot off of
Yep.
Lando in the background. Like just simple things like that just makes it so fun. Going back to Tatooine, seeing more characters.
That was
What
amazing.
was that? Tatooine?
Yeah, just how in depth they kind of just took you along. It was just it gave you that nostalgia, and then you just wanted to see more.
Right. And that means you're doing something good. So I think the backstory, like you said, is very important to Boba Fett, because we saw him in The Mandalorian and we're just kind of like, okay, that doesn't make sense. We're making stuff up like now he's just alive. But the way that they wrote it in, it's super believable, and it just really adds to Boba Fett. I mean, Boba Fett is now probably one of the most popular Star Wars characters out there. I mean, he's up there with Vader, Luke, Han Solo.
And he's still alive.
Yeah, and it's he's changed. He's evolved. Like he was a bounty hunter before. Now he's like, he learned so much from the Tuscan Raiders, and now he's the crime lord. And it's really interesting. I'm curious to see where they go with it. Something else that I really liked is the Tuscan Raiders, and just kind of how we're getting to see more of them. Like for sure we're going to be getting more Tuscan Raiders from Hot Toys, and I want this one right here, the female who taught Boba Fett how to fight, and she was the one that like drove that speeder up to the train and just like ran it into the train and jumped on, and just a complete badass. And I guess the actress is actually a stunt woman. She was on Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, amongst a couple others. So she's gotten some work, and now she's kind of getting a role as an actual actress. So that's really cool.
Nice.
What do you think about the Tuscan Raiders? Have you enjoyed them? Have you kind of...
Oh yeah, I love the Tuscan Raiders. They weren't a character I put too much thought into until these 2 shows came out, and then just the way they brought different tribes on board, and how you see inner workings with the politics of the Sand People, and like Boba Fett is translating stuff, and you see how they sign, and like the Tuscan Raiders now, going back to the original Star Wars films, they act like identical. So it's like
Right.
how much of Lucas's thought went into it creating the language that they speak. And just, I love it. There's a lot of detail there. It's a lot of fun to see more about these people.
Well, and we're actually getting like personality of them. Like, yeah, like in Star Wars, we saw them when they pirated Luke's speeder, and then we saw him shooting at Anakin's pod racer in the prequels, and that's literally all we had. Like, so just to kind of see what makes them tick through the Mandalorian, through Book of Boba, the different tribes, the personalities, what they're
Mm-hmm.
all about. It's really cool. And again, it's just building, it's world building, and you're just making Star Wars bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's cool. And they look super cool too. So, and then we got to see Black Chrysanthemum, the bounty hunter Wookie, who was, I think, was introduced in 2015 in the comic book Darth Vader. He's had some run-ins with Obi-Wan on Tatooine. Seems like a badass. I guess he was kicked off his planet, and yeah,
Aw,
he's been in some big battles. I don't know why he was removed from his planet, but he looks pretty badass. I mean, you can tell me if you feel differently, but I have a feeling him and Boba Fett might get into it later on in the series.
wouldn't it be cool if they found a way to bring Chewbacca into this against him for a bit?
That would be cool.
That would be so cool.
And yeah, you better believe. I mean, I'm sure he's going to have a bigger role coming up in the next episode. So I would definitely believe Hot Toys will be making this one as well. I mean, it's Star Wars. They're going to be making them. So
Yeah,
just be ready, people. I mean, if you thought you had too many pre orders now, they're going to be unloading for Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett.
I would want this guy when he
I
comes
got to
up.
see what else. Like, I know a lot of people are so excited because, again, it's just another character that you're finally getting to see come to the live screen action, like comic books or animation series. You're getting to see these characters in real life, and it's really important for that. And I think depending on what he does for the rest of the series, might interest me also on if I get him or not. So,
Oh, that stare down they had in episode 2. I bet you something happens in 3.
and that's the thing too. In the comics, they know each other, but I don't know if they know each other here in the Book of Boba. Like
Okay,
the way they looked at each other, to me, I didn't think they knew each other, but I could be, I could be wrong there.
we'll find out.
But you got to believe, yeah, Hot Toys will be making this, guy. So
Yeah.
we have Simon coming to hang out. He says, "Hey guys, what's up, Simon? Thanks for stopping by the channel. Much appreciated. We're just talking a little Book of Boba Fett episode 2 here. Oh, and last but not least, we got the twins.
The mountains.
I really felt bad for the people that were holding them. You just
There
see them,
wasn't,
they're just like, oh.
there wasn't enough people holding them.
So these are Jabba the Hutt's cousins, and they're twins. And we're starting to learn more about the Hutts and kind of how powerful they are and what their role is in everything. And somebody even said you need permission to kill a Hutt. So that stuff's interesting, and I'm excited to learn more about that and kind of what the Hutts are all about. Like, now we know he has his own species. Like, it's just crazy how much they're opening this up.
They
And
still
if
look like slugs.
they do, for sure. Yeah, they're not very attractive looking species, that's for sure. Something else that was surprising to me was kind of some people have actually been critical of this series so far. Like, Boba Fett takes his helmet off too much. He walks too much.
He's not a Mandalorian.
Well, I know, and it just, I mean, maybe even because like in the OG trilogy, you never saw him without his helmet, but you barely saw him anyways.
He had
So
like 10 minutes of screen time.
right. So it's kind of surprising to me how critical people have been when, I mean, you guys liked the the sequel trilogy, and we didn't complain. Well, I mean, some people did complain about it, but like literally they were making stuff up in the third movie, like how the Force works and stuff like that. And but here, we're just kind of getting critical. Like, I just don't see too much that's really wrong with this so far. Like, it's original Star Wars, but like new stories, and I think that's what's so awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah. These storylines are made. I mean, I'm a big Star Wars nerd. I've watched them all. I've gone back and watched them all again. I've even tried to splice them apart at times, and I can tell you the best way to watch the first three movies. Seeing these stories unfold in front of us and in real time too, and watching, just being able to appreciate it. It's awesome.
I was going to ask you something. Did you watch the Clone Wars or any of the animated stuff?
I've gotten halfway through it. I've not finished it, but yeah.
Yeah, I had a hard time getting into that. I watched a lot of like the highlighted episodes and stuff like that. There's a lot of good content in there, but I just, for some reason, I couldn't stick with it and watch the whole series. But there's a lot
It'd
of
be
good stuff in there
cool
too.
if they bring some of that to light, with Obi-Wan and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I still don't know why they haven't done more with Vader.
I think that's coming. That, I mean, Vader is going to be like, he's got to have his own movie. But did they bring Anakin back? I mean, whatever, Christian.
Haydenson, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in reading some of these comics about, it was kind of like between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, there's a lot of content about Vader and a lot of stories about him. Like in the comic, he literally goes to Jabba the Hutt's palace and has to barter with him about I can't remember because I only read the first comic, but like um Palpatine is like pissed at him because he says it's his fault that the rebels basically got away with blowing up the Death Star, and now he's like making him pay for it. So there's like a lot of stuff that we don't know about that we could still make movies on as well.
I mean, it's probably coming. You can see the way they CGI stuff in.
Right.
Palpatine's never going to go away.
Simon says, would you guys buy a 2-pack Fat Slug Hot Toys? I think I'd pass on these guys. They just, I don't know if they would really add to my collection. I think they would just make me self-conscious about my self-image, maybe. I don't know. Daniel says he walks too much. People are being too nitpicky. It's true. Like I don't even think about that stuff. Like, I'm just literally enjoying this as I'm watching it. Like, there's got to be some people out there that literally are just like watching it and they're like, nope, don't like that. What else is he doing that pisses me off? Or like I'm just like, oh, Tuscan Raiders. Wow, that's Jabba's ship over there. That's the Sarlacc pit. That's so cool. Like
that bantha got eaten again.
Oh, how many banthas got shot? I was like, okay, are we not going to protect the banthas here? Like,
nope.
Like you guys saw, like when the train first comes by, like you just rifled a bantha down, and like you have a plan now, and then the bantha just goes down.
Yeah.
But then you even saw, like, because I was like, how do they get these banthas? Like, are they having a shortage now? But then you see, like, they're almost like cattle, and they're just in the desert. So again, it's like just more to the world. So I don't know.
No banthas were harmed in the making of it.
Simon says, what I'm a bit meh about the show is we miss the mysterious vibe about Boba. We see his face too much, so it kills the original vibe. Is it just me? That's a good point. That is a good point. I will say I did think about him taking his, like, seems like at every opportunity he had, he did take his helmet off. It doesn't bother me too much, but it's something that I notice. Like, why even have the helmet if you're really just going to wear it around in battle? I don't know. I get what he's saying. What's your opinion about that, Trav?
I mean, I get it, wanting to keep his helmet on. I think him taking his helmet off more often in this series is bringing more of a realism to it. I mean, when you watch the first episode, it's because of his armor he survived, and then he went through hell and back to get his armor back. He went a long time without it. He's got his robes now. He's more comfortable. He's taking over this role on Tatooine, and yeah, it's kind of just a natural evolution of the character. Even in The Mandalorian, you see Mando take his helmet off, like 3 times now?
Something like that.
So, and they even made a big deal about it in maybe even the episode where he was with Boba Fett, where the prisoner was like, dude, you guys got different rules for everything. You took your helmet off. Now you're going to go save this kid and take your helmet off. It's okay now, but when it's not okay to you, you can't take it off. Like, where do you draw the line?
Right.
Because you can't show your face. So they put a lot of emphasis on that. And I think even in the next Mandalorian, we're going to see more of Mando taking his helmet off. So I guess I'm kind of impartial to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's changed with all the stuff that he's gone through, and like you said, he's evolved, and that could be part of it. But I understand too, just missing the mysteriousness of Boba Fett, and even some people probably miss the mysteriousness of the Mandalorian, because I'm sure he's probably gonna take his helmet off a lot more too. So I understand both sides too, and that's a good points on both. Simon says also the cinematography doesn't feel as good as Mando. Really looking forward to see the next episodes. Then we can have a better opinion. Something I really do like about Book of Boba Fett is the intro music.
Yeah.
It just sticks in my head. Daniel says 2 huts. That would be a big pair of figures. Yeah, man. Got to get a Maju case for that one. To Travis, Simon says, good point. All right. So, anything else you want to add, Travis, on Book of Boba Fett?
You gotta go watch it. It's good.
It is.
I can't wait for the next episode to come out. I can't wait to see more of the evolution coming along. What else comes out of Jon Favreau's brain? I love it.
Yeah, everything there's like the meme of like everything he's touched, he's made into a classic. Like he did Elf, classic Christmas movie. He did, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but then obviously Star Wars too.
He was in Friends.
Yeah.
For like 3 episodes.
So, yeah. So, we're approaching an hour here. We'll see. We might not get through everything tonight, so I just might save some of that content for next week. But we'll see. See how this goes, because the next thing that I want to talk about is 2022 for movies upcoming.
It's going to be amazing.
So I did this little thing here. I put it together this morning, and I put all the dates here. So Travis, you can kind of see all the dates that everything comes out. I don't know if you can see that bottom part.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So Aquaman, basically Aquaman 2 comes out end of the year, December. Black Adam, July 29th. Wakanda Forever. Doctor Strange 2, May 6th.
Oh, yeah.
We got the Flash movie November 4th, which still seems like a really far ways off.
They got to stop postponing that one.
I know. Jurassic World Dominion, June 10th. So right around our birthdays. And Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, October 7th. March 4th is The Batman. And then Thor, Love and Thunder is July 8th. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming out here this year. I mean, I don't think last year was this packed. No. I mean, I might be forgetting it because it seems so long ago, but a lot of good stuff to look forward to. We got Will C in the house. Good friend of the channel, good friend on Instagram. Thanks for stopping by, Will. Good to have you. We've talked about some news, some announcements, Book of Boba Fett episode 2, and now we're just kind of talking about with Travis here what movies we are most looking forward to for 2022. Travis, what's your number one movie you're looking forward to?
Oh, it's Batman. I'm looking forward to Batman. I got to see what happens here. I'm also really looking forward to The Flash, but I feel like they just keep toying with that one and pushing it off.
Are you a little bit scared of if Batman will flop or not?
I am very scared that Batman is going to flop, but you got to go into it with optimism.
Yes. I
But
mean,
yeah,
DC's done a lot of good stuff, but they've also kind of let us down quite a
they
bit
just
recently. So,
they don't stay consistent with what they release, and then yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be a good adventure, but they have a couple of solid movies coming out this year, so
right. I'm also looking forward to the Flash because, well, I just got to see Keaton again, and I want to see Ben Affleck one last time. He
uh,
wrapped up his role as Batman. I'm really upset that he didn't get his solo movie, and I know he had some personal problems, alcoholism, divorce. I mean, geez, it's like, what else can you go through while you're shooting this? Then you had Josh Whedon reshooting it, because Zack Snyder had that tragic thing happen to him. So, I mean, I, I think we got to remember these guys are doing a job too. And sometimes you don't enjoy the job. And sometimes that can just leave a sour taste in your mouth. So I get it, but and Batman versus Superman wasn't well received. I really liked the extended version. Is it perfect? No, but I enjoyed it.
they still
And
had that sink in there.
the sink?
Yeah, when Superman flies through 15 buildings and
Yeah.
then he lands on the ground, and then Batman hits him over the head with that sink and it KOs him.
Right. This is still my favorite
Yes.
Batman. The older, grittier. I've seen too much. I stopped caring about like guns and hurting people. And so I love the outfit too, the costume. I love the short ears, the darkness of it. So I thought every scene that he was in BVS was amazing with him. Except for
Hmm.
maybe when he was like, Martha, why'd you say that name? Why'd you say that name?
Why did you say Martha?
And now we're friends. That was a little cheesy, but outside of that, I thought he was awesome. Um,
Did you ever put two and two together before that with the same mom names?
I didn't. No, I
Me
didn't.
neither.
We
Like,
learn
wow.
something new every day.
It's like I should have known this.
Simon says, I don't see Jackass Forever here. What about Johnny Knoxville, Cannon, Angel Wings, 1/6 scale? Will
Get a
says,
one.
blame WB. That's true because WB wouldn't let Snyder shoot how he wanted to shoot and, direct how he wanted to. Like, these companies get in the way. And it's like,
Hmm.
they want to all be the same. It's like, just let these guys use their creative imagination and make a movie. Like, it doesn't have to be straightforward. This is, what it's got to be. Like, come on. So, I don't
Like
know.
man,
Simon says this Batman will explode box office like the Joker did. Wishful thinking. I think it'll do pretty good. I think a lot of people are hyped about it. Batman movie I look forward to the most, especially after that last trailer. Yeah, they've done a really good job with the trailers. I love having the Riddler. I love the look of the Penguin. I love it that this is supposed to be year 2 of Batman, and he's reckless. He doesn't really care about his well being. Like, you see him taking all these bullets to the armor in the trailers, and I think it's going to be a learning experience for him. Plus, he's more of a detective, so it's going to be a different look to Batman, in my opinion.
it'll be a good Batman. More of a sleeker, streamlined. I mean, he's got to be more of a ninja in this one.
Yeah. His relationship with Catwoman seems to be interesting as well. Another one that I'm really looking forward to is Thor: Love and Thunder.
That one's going to be good.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite movies in the MCU. Obviously, Infinity War and Endgame are really up there too, but like, I just love the Guardians of the Galaxy, and they're gonna have a part in this. So obviously, I'm stoked. I love seeing Chris Hemsworth's comedic side unleashed as well. Like, ever since they let him have a personality, the guy has just been on fire since Thor Ragnarok and on. So I love seeing him team with like Chris Pratt and just the connection that they have together. And I'm very excited for this. So this is going to be Thor when he kind of reaches his peak of powerfulness, I guess. Are you familiar with any of like the comics and stuff?
Not so much with Thor. I know that he kind of goes around the galaxy after, you know, Endgame.
Yeah, so he's pretty much invincible at this point, but obviously there's got to be a caveat because otherwise you don't have a movie. But I'm looking forward to that. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 comes out in 2023. So
Okay.
I got that marked as well. That'll actually probably be the last one because I know Bautista said he's not going to do it again because he's in his what early 50s and he's like it's just so hard to stay fit and be shirtless for the whole movie. So I don't
Yeah,
really
right.
blame him.
I
But
blame him. He quit at wrestling and now he's quitting on us here.
that's right. I forgot you were a huge wrestling fan.
I quit. Why?
Might as well have been an I quit match.
Yeah, he can have an I quit match with the Guardians of the Galaxy with a little flower tattoo on his belly button.
Isn't it a rose, right? It's a rose.
It's something. It
So
might be
did
a sun, actually.
oh yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right. So did he quit to just get like did he pull a rock? He just wanted to act or was it like health reasons?
No, he just walked away. I mean, he was going to. Let's see. He was gonna try and do like a final match, but then they didn't have the build up that he wanted, so he just walked away. I think they had
Gotcha.
brought like Lesnar back or something, and Lesnar just still there.
Ugh.
So
Another one that I'm excited for is Wakanda Forever because Chadwick Boseman is no longer with us. I want to see how they write that. And there was rumors that his sister was going to be the new Black Panther, but then I heard rumors they casted somebody else. Do you
hmm,
know anything about that movie? Have you heard anything?
I am not.
For how soon it's coming out, like November is still a while off, but like for how soon this is coming out, I feel like we don't know anything about this movie.
I mean, I think that this movie, when it comes out, from just the only things I've read on it, is it's going to have a good build into this next phase. Like, it's going to be one of them. You know how, like, Doctor Strange was kind of like one of them key movies where you watched it at first and it didn't all make sense, but now go back and watch it with the timeline and you're like, oh my God, this was genius. I think
Right.
they're trying to do something with that because they're trying to revive that character and continue to have it have a presence in this because it was going to be such a pivotal character in this next phase that they planned, 50 years ago. So
Right.
I was like, what are we going to do? Okay, let's make this shift and see how it goes.
So overall, I'm more excited for, I think as a whole, Marvel, like Doctor Strange has my interest, Thor for sure, Wakanda Forever. But I think my top two, well, the Batman is my top one, and then obviously the Flash, so that I can see
Yeah.
Batman. I just want to see Batman,
Yep.
but it does look good though as well.
It'll be a good movie. It better be a good movie. It's been delayed long enough. They've had time to make it right.
Right. Will says, curious to see if they'll deepfake Chadwick in the next film. Definitely need a Black Panther reissue. I think they could do it for like a scene just to kind of write him out or however they're going to do that. I thought I heard they were actually going to have him die in the movie so that we had kind of closure to what happened to the character, but I'm not sure. Any
Bulletproof armor.
yeah, maybe he gets thrown off the waterfall again. I don't know. Maybe he slips and falls. I don't know. They got to do Chadwick Boseman better than that.
Yeah. Give him a Tony
Simon,
Stark death.
yeah. Simon says, to be honest, the first Black Panther had a fantastic art direction, but I don't think it was a great movie. I love the character more in the other MCU movies. I actually 100% agree with that. I thought the movie was good, good filler movie, good one to watch, but it didn't blow me away, and it's not one that I think people will remember. And I think part of that is Michael B. Jordan, I didn't think was great in the movie. I didn't think he was a great villain. The story was just it was okay. But what did you think of the first one of the solo movie?
I think you hit it right on the head. The villain just wasn't grabby enough. You kind of just watched this, it was just flat. It had a very flat feeling to it where like they could have done something more with it, especially like in the beginning of the movie when the dad dies and you're just like in an apartment complex in Los Angeles. Like, okay, we got this. Okay, it's like okay, it was okay.
I don't know. He
It did
just
not do the character itself justice. They really could have done more.
And I don't know if it was the direction he was given, but just the acting from him, like, "What's up, Auntie?" Like, I don't know. It wasn't my cup of tea for the villain, but
It's kind of thuggy a little bit.
right.
I don't
And
know.
Daniel feels like they kind of just recycled the story a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah,
potentially.
dad dies, person becomes a vigilante.
Jurassic World. Any interest in that one?
Uh,
It's not. So I tried to look for superhero movies, but I mean, it doesn't
um,
really fall into like we're gonna get six scale figures from all of these other ones, but probably not Jurassic World. But it made it so that we had kind of an even row here. So, any thoughts on Jurassic World?
it'll be all right. It'll be interesting to see where they take the story. I don't know too much about this movie coming out. There's been a couple of
Right.
movies that they've made that were great, a couple that were like, meh, why'd you even do that? This one I'd have to go back and rewatch the last one to get a better opinion on this one. It might just be another one like, why are you doing this?
Yeah,
The
the
last
last
one had
one,
some good nostalgia factors in it. I liked.
but the story sucked. It did.
But
The
they got, yeah,
the first one with Chris Pratt I thought was good, but uh,
yeah.
so
We'll see where this one goes. I'm assuming Chris Pratt is not in this one.
no, he is. Yeah,
Oh, he is?
yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
I said I don't know much about this one.
A trailer did launch for this one, so I
Okay.
saw it once, but I don't quite remember. Doctor Strange 2 looks really good because
Yes,
I have a feeling Wanda's going to be the villain
that
just
would be
from
awesome.
this. But then, so the multiverse, I don't know if you've seen the sneak trailer for this one yet.
No.
So you see like a variant of Doctor Strange, and he's kind of like a darker
Okay.
side. Did you watch Loki?
Yep.
So the variants and
Hmm.
with the multiverses going on. So that looks interesting. The first Doctor Strange movie is good. I would compare it with Black Panther. Like it's good, but it's not one of my favorites. But it took me a long time to watch it.
It's
But
got all the interlocking pieces to it now I can appreciate.
yes, so I am more excited though to watch this one, especially once I do watch Spider Man, and then kind of even get more involved into that. So um, figures, because this is Sixth Scale Symposium. Like I said, I think we're gonna get a lot of figures. Are we gonna get a Batman? Oh yeah, definitely gonna get that Batman. Hot Toys though, I never understand the way they release things because like before Spider-Man came out, they released the black suit Spider-Man, or they announced it, I should say. And but they still haven't announced the villains. Um Black Widow. They announced Black Widow around the time the movie came out, and then about 4 months later they announced Yelena. Like
Mhm.
and maybe it was because they knew Hawkeye was coming out. I don't know. But sometimes it's just weird with their releases on when they decide to, or announcements when they decide to announce those figures, and I don't quite understand it because like for me I'd want to do it when the the peak is on the top of the mountain and everybody's excited about it, and
Yeah.
because then pre-orders are going to come in and stuff like that. I mean, but the sad part is you still got to wait like a year plus for these
Got
figures, so
want my toy.
that's tough. um I've been collecting for almost 2 years, and the first figure I pre-ordered was the Golden Armor Wonder Woman. And I still don't even have it, and I got like what 50 figures back there. I still don't have my first pre-order. It's crazy. She is on the way, by the way. I canceled that pre-order and just got her from overseas, so she's coming. I actually got my non-refundable deposit back too because she was delayed so many times that Sideshow will give you that money back if you cancel after it's been delayed. So Just keep that in mind as well. That's the second time I canceled my Captain America, and they gave me that money back too. So, Simon says, "Do you think we'll get a Hot Toys Battison mobile, or at least a 1/6 scale from other brands like Jazz Inc.?" I think so. It looks pretty cool. It's like more of that muscle car look to it. Kind of simple, but the back of it looks really awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I like it. I like it a lot, and I do think we'll get. Somebody's got to make it. Maybe Hot Toys will, because they're reissuing the Tumbler. Maybe when the Flash comes out, maybe they'll reissue the '89 Batmobile. I don't know, but that would be cool.
Hell yeah.
I almost pulled the trigger on that. Somebody was selling it like 45 minutes away from my house, but it was quite expensive, so I didn't do it. With Thor, you're gonna get another Thor. So like for me, I have Infinity War Thor. Not sold on Endgame Thor, so I might wait and see kind of what the next one looks like, and just go from there.
Might not be a bad idea.
Will we get Guardians of the Galaxy figures, or Natalie Portman? Her character is coming back. I can't remember her name in the movie, but she's supposed to be transforming into a superhero. Somebody let me know in the comments if you know what she is.
Oh, Kate?
Is it Hawk Girl, or what's her name? She takes form of a hero, I believe, in this movie. Look it up, Travis.
I'm looking it up. I think her name is Kate in the movie.
Yeah, and she becomes a superhero. With the Flash, we're obviously going to get a Flash. So if you guys missed out on the Justice League Flash, you're going to get another one here. So, maybe it depends. Do you want the Justice League? It's got to all be Justice League, or can you wait for this one just to get your Flash? They might reissue Bat Flick. I don't know. It depends on how big of a role he has. But I do think they're going to reissue '89 Batman. I think it's just going to be the hype.
Awesome.
The hype is going to be so high that I think they're going to reissue that one. We're going to get another Doctor Strange. We're probably going to get a Wanda. Any interest in Black Adam?
Isn't that's Dwayne. Yeah. Who doesn't love The Rock?
I'm not too familiar with the character.
No idea about the character outside of one article.
Yeah, if I'm correct, is he like an anti-hero, or is he?
I think he is an anti-hero. He's not he's like a Venom.
Right, that's kind of what I thought.
Yeah. But I mean, it should be decent, I would think.
Will asks if the Flash has a new suit. For sure, because they got to make toys and they got to make money. So, of course, he's going to have a new suit. Plus, you have the variant Flash that they might make, who's in more of like the homemade gear. So I think you'll get that one too.
That would be cool.
But for sure, you're going to get a new Flash, and I think '89 Batman.
Jane Foster is her name.
Jane. Does she have... Anybody in the comments know if Jane Foster becomes a hero in Thor, Love and Thunder? Pretty sure.
She'll become the mighty Thor. What?
Interesting. I don't know.
She's got this. I'll shoot you a link over to this, but yeah, it's she's got like a whole helmet on and everything in the comic book here.
Oh yeah, because I've seen that too, so I was curious if what that was going to be all about. Well, we are getting a little short here on time, so I actually didn't want to get through everything that I had on here, which is perfectly fine because it gives me more stuff to talk about next week.
It's
but
the Mighty Thor. I
the
wrote that.
Mighty Thor.
The
Okay.
Mighty Thor.
So we got to talk about, some of the news, some of the new releases, including Boba Fett, plus the show Book of Boba Fett. We got to talk about new movies coming out this year and probably some of the figures that we're going to get from them. So this was a lot of fun with you, Travis.
Right
Next
on.
week, next week I'm going to save coming out soon figures, like the ones like that have been coming soon for about 2 to 3 years. Will they ever come out? Will Hot Toys ever make them? I want to talk about that with you guys. And a big topic in the community is to pre-order or not, and why you should, why you shouldn't. So I'm going to talk about pre-orders because that's always a good, fun topic to talk about. If you guys haven't already, make sure you head over. I'll put the link once I get the link from you, Travis. I'll put the link in the description below. You guys can check out his TM creation page on Facebook where he does lots of artwork with spray paint, and it's pretty cool. And he's getting quite good. And he does like superhero stuff and whatnot.
I do like my superheroes for sure.
It's a good way to unplug from the real world and kind of forget about our problems, right?
Absolutely.
If you guys are watching my channel, obviously I want to kind of keep doing these live streams with you. Hopefully we can get more and more people to kind of join us, and I want it to be more of a hangout. If you guys have any questions for me, shoot them to me on IG. Shoot me a message. If you got topics that you want to talk about, I'm all ears. Love to get the feedback from you guys. But for sure, next week we'll talk about some figures that might be coming soon, might never be coming soon, pre-ordering, and we'll see if Hot Toys comes out with any other news before then. But that's pretty much it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and Travis, thank you so much for joining me and talking superhero stuff and geeking out.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. It's a lot of fun.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.